laying on the rug. I got new clothes, playing in the mud. In the mud.
What up? It's that Bush talk. You know I'm straight spazzing. I've been on the bandwagon. Another reaction for y'all peoples. You know, whoever, whatever. Man, today's reaction. Getting political a little bit. Sometimes we do that. Who cares? Algorithm, whatever. I do what I want over here. Milania Trump, man. It's a whole bunch of stuff coming out. She trying to protect herself. It seemed like she knows some chickens are coming to roost. So she put out this statement because I heard she found out her homegirl is about to expose some things. Let's start off with that. Get into it. I want to get some more contents on it, some more, you feel me? So let me check out this video and he's going to explain to my dumb ass what's going on. Hold on, though. Before we do that, this video right here. Keith Edwards, 1.25 million subs. Salute to him. Let's get into this. Milania Trump, man, is she under pressure? She trying to hide something. She trying to play damage control. Let's see what's good.
And through Milania's own book to bring you this story and to let you know what is going on. Now, this is a very complicated web of relationships and lies and stories, and we're probably just gonna be able to give you a little bit about what's happening. But I wanted to bring you this because I think this is truly the key to a lot of what is going on in the White House. And it, of course, all has to point back to Epstein. Now, as we said, Milania Trump gave this speech yesterday. Remember when she said this?
I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump.
And she said this out the blue when everything started dying down a little bit and everybody concerned about the war. She came with this out the blue.
I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in a detail in my book, Milania.
Well, we actually went through the book and we looked into it, and she's right. That is in the book. Here it is. On chapter 5, hi, I'm Donald. Quote, my boyfriend is throwing a party at the Kit Kat Club tomorrow night. She said, please come. We haven't seen each other in so long. This was a friend of Milania's. Now, this person is not actually defined or named in this book, but I've come to learn that that person is Amanda Ungaro. You're going to hear a lot about her. Here she is with her then husband and, of course, Donald Trump and Milania Trump. Here's Paulo with Milania and Trump. Here's all four of them for our Independence Day post. Here they are again for the New Year's in 2022. Here they are at Christmas time, looking thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So you get the idea. These people were quite close. They knew each other. And the key to all this is Amanda, who knew Milania before any of this and who likely knows the truth behind so much of what we still don't have answers to. And she's speaking up. But first, let's just get into who Amanda is just a little bit. Amanda met Paulo through modeling. Paulo owned an agency called ID Models. And Amanda originally came to America on Epstein's jet. Says here, at just 16 years old, Amanda Ungaro was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane.
Wow.
Now, it's been reported before that she was 17, but we're learning now that it was much earlier in this interview. Paulo Zampoli discovered Amanda as a middle schooler. He is 15 years her senior, searching for a future as a model in Brazil, and he began grooming her at age 15. Paulo
Epstein pimped her. You already know, just like Milania. This is adding up. I'm already convinced, but let me keep it going, man. Man, come on now. Too many coincidences.
Zampoli wooed her as a client, she said, persuaded her to move to the United States, and began a romantic relationship with her that would last 2 decades. Mr. Zampoli said this didn't happen until Miss Ungaro was 19, but in an interview on Substack with Beckett Day, it says here that in an interview on January 18th, it says, I have proof that Paolo began to try to date me when I was 15 years old. And it is true that I was on Jeffrey's plane as a teenager. I was only 16 years old at the time when I was put on his plane. Now, in a Portuguese article, it's reported that she said that the relationship began in 2002 when she was just 17 years old with a promising career, while he was a 32-year-old modeling agent based in New York. Now, Epstein was a frequent visitor to ID Models, the agency founded by Zampoli, and the two once explored acquiring elite model management in 2004.
Model agencies, that job was created by the Epstein type. The model agency. Find the young girls and tell the world who's pretty and who's not, and manipulate these young girls. Model agency, get them married to a 30, 40-year-old freak boy. These jobs were created for people like Epstein. Who knows? Maybe Epstein created his whole thing for that, to recruit these girls, man.
We all know that that is one way in which Jeffrey Epstein found his victims, through Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, what's really interesting is that in the early 2000s, Zampoli and Epstein discussed buying a modeling agency. Later, Zampoli also named a partner in the now defunct Ocean charity funded by Ghislaine Maxwell, Terra Mar Project. So you see how these things are kind of all interconnected. Now, Paolo and Amanda maintain very good relationships with Milania and Trump. I mean, they just have so many photos together. There are just so many pictures. So these folks knew each other. Paolo even says in an email that Donald Trump changed his life. Trump offered Paolo a job in real estate. And here's more photos of them. They are just, these folks loved a camera. All right. So these folks are very interconnected. And just to show how much they were connected, Donald Trump named Paolo special envoy for global partnerships. That's about a year ago on March 11th, 2025. And Amanda Ungaro was appointed to a ceremonial role as an ambassador of Grenada to the United Nations through Zampoli.
It clicks up. It sounds like your grandparents, you know, oh, that's my friends. We did everything together. So then the people become like almost your auntie and uncle, and they're not even related. It looked like they was a clicked up couple like that. So when you meet somebody in a couple form, like when a man meet, you know, when it's like two people and they connect, now they have that connection. Seemed like they was connected like that. He met Milania through Epstein, and this dude met his girl through Epstein, and him and Trump linked up and connected like that.
His connections to the White House. Okay. So these are people who are very close to the Trumps. They had enough power that they got promoted into various aspects of our government, and everything was fine and dandy until these two broke up. Now, why are we talking about Amanda? What does this have to do with anything? Okay, here's why. Because you remember from about a month ago, Paolo Zampoli had her arrested. He asked ICE to detain the mother of his children. Last June, the man credited with introducing Trump to his wife asked the administration for a favor. Paolo Zampoli, a former modeling agent turned presidential special envoy, had learned that his Brazilian ex-girlfriend was in a Miami jail, arrested on charges of fraud at her workplace. They had been in custody battle over their teenage son. Now he saw an opportunity. He reached out to a top official at ICE, explaining that his ex was in the country illegally, according to records obtained by the New York Times, and a person familiar with the community.
He called up ICE, got her ass deported, huh? Or tried to.
Communications. Could she be put in ICE detention? That could help get his son back. And that's exactly what the Trump administration did. DHS, which...
Oh, damn. Homie got mad. She left with her son. He used his power. Said, put that broad in ICE jail, ICE prison. Imagine what her son, man.
Overseas ICE said in a statement that Miss Ungaro was detained and deported because she was on a long expired visa and had been charged with fraud. Quote, any suggestion that she was arrested and removed for political reasons or favors is false. as I'm sure you're thinking, as I'm thinking, that statement's bullshit. Of course, Donald Trump's friend got favorable treatment. So the woman who was friends with Milania was deported by her ex, and Milania didn't do anything to stop it. And so
that's the next level of scumbagism, just like Poetic Flacco, Whack 100, and these people, they utilize the police. When you make them mad, you go into jail. They got the police. They're gonna tell the police on your ass.
That got Amanda kind of pissed. And remember, Amanda, Paulo, Milania, Trump, they were all running in the same circles. They were hanging out, emailing each other, giving each other jobs. They knew each other very well. So that is why two things happened. One, Milania gave this crazy ass statement. And two, what we didn't know, but other people saw, was Amanda was tweeting at Melania Trump saying the following. Now, I actually saw these in real time. Unfortunately, I didn't have the foresight to actually screenshot them because Amanda deleted these tweets. And here are some of them. Milania, I was around you for 20 years. You knew I was inside ICE, and you know what hurts after all this time. I stayed close to your family, your mother and your father, not because of you, but because of them at events and everything else. So shut your mouth when speaking about me, because I will expose everything I know. She wanted to say, I have nothing left to lose in my life. I will tear down the entire system. Be careful with me, bitch. I will tear down your corrupt system, even if it's the last thing I do in my life. I will go all the way. I am not afraid. Maybe you should be afraid of what I know, of who you are and who your husband is. I will take legal action against you and your pedophile husband. I've known you for 20 years. You knew I was detained in ICE. You were president of my life, and every year, my son's birthday, even sending Secret Service and being the first to congratulate him back in 2016. Something was clearly wrong, but I am not part of any evil mission involving children. So what did you do, Milania? You tried to involve me, but you failed because I have character.
This sounds just like Nicki Minaj. This sounds similar to the Nicki Minaj situation. Man, only problem I have with both of these situations is they knew all this information, they holding it in until they could use it for their advantage. If you see evil, then you're supposed to, try to stop it and deal with it immediately. They was rocking with it until they couldn't rock with it no more. And then they now see, that's the crazy part.
So my. Very interesting stuff, isn't it? Now, as I said, it's very complicated. There's a lot of hills and valleys to walk through. But if I can just summarize all of this, the woman who has known Melania for 20 years, the woman who she credits in her own book, invited her to a party where the person that she says introduced her to Trump is the same person who got deported by ICE and is on a vengeance tour and is willing and ready to expose everything. That is what brought us to this moment here. Because Melania knows that Amanda Ungaro knows everything and she has nothing to fear. She's not even in this country anymore. So they're not even going to be able to shut her up in the same way they would if she were here. So perhaps what this was all about was that Melania was doing what all Trumps do. They were trying to get ahead of the story before it came out. They were trying to set the narrative before the narrative was created. The only thing is Melania is not very sophisticated. She did not do a good job of laying out what her version of the events were. In fact, what she did was created more questions. And that's one reason why we all started to dig, and digged we did. So this is very interesting to me. And we are learning now. Amanda just told a reporter that she is going to be doing an interview on Monday with CNN. So this is all going to be coming out very, very quickly. And that is the reason why Melania Trump spoke out when she did.
I hope she's in hiding somewhere, wherever she at. Hope she in hiding. Ducked out somewhere in the bunker. Hiding somewhere. You gotta hide. Don't eat no fast food, none of that. Cause man.
Because I'm just gonna say it. I don't think Amanda was saying these words lightly. She says, I will take legal action against you and your pedophile husband. She said that with her full chest. She also says down here, Milania, you tried to involve me in an evil mission involving children, but failed because I have character. Let's go back to this statement again, because remember, it's very interesting what she says here. She talks about crimes. Why would she bring up crimes? No one's ever said Milania is connected to crimes before, have they? I don't think we've talked about this a lot. We've never said Milania was engaged in crimes, and yet she felt the need to say she's never been involved in crimes. Let's listen.
Depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island.
You know what's sad? When they met up with Epstein or whatever, they was young as hell, 17, whatever, 16. So they shouldn't be blamed for the bullshit, but look at what's going on. And them old dudes took advantage of them, and now they caught up in some mess. Old girl, man, she had a kid.
I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior.
That's the ticket there. Because no one ever, as far as I know, there's been a lot of accusations pointing around, but no one has ever said Milania Trump is connected to the crimes. And yet, Milania Trump felt the need to say that as Amanda was saying, I'm not part of an evil mission involving children. Milania, you tried to involve me, but you failed. So we're gonna learn more. But my thing is, this seems to have legs. There seems to be some there. There is no reason why Milania Trump would come out and say a statement like that if what Amanda was talking about wasn't real.
There's definitely a reason for her to clear her name, because we already suspecting that she's involved in the crimes. But yeah, you're right. If the statements wasn't real, what is she coming out saying that for? As far as dealing with children and stuff, if she knows something about that shit, man, I agree with him. If the statements was all some bullshit, there would be nothing. Milania, why did she all of a sudden come out, and speak on this thing? Man, Milania. Hold up, this is that girl right here.
Focus in more on Epstein's crimes with this statement and the women that he victimized. Joining us right now here in studio is Gloria Allred. She is an attorney who represents several of the women abused by.
Wait a minute, not that one. Not that one. Man, this stuff is getting nasty as usual. Anything dealing with, hold up. Anything dealing with that Epstein, I don't even like saying his name no more, because that name is just disgusting. Oh, there you go, Amanda Agario. Let me see here. Let's see here. It's just too much, bro.
Milania Trump walked up to a podium this week and did something no First Lady has ever done. She denied knowing Jeffrey Epstein, unprompted, unscheduled, a surprise press conference, just to say, I was not his victim. I was not his participant.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record.
Washington didn't know what to make of it, but within hours, a verified account on X bearing the name Amanda Ungaro fired back with a public threat, claiming 20 years of proximity to the First Lady and promising to, quote, expose everything she knows.
Sounds to me like she was hitting her old friend up for some help. And Milania was like, bitch, I don't know you. Cut her off. So now, and cut her off and then make the statement like, and then now old girl like, okay, you playing like that? Watch this.
You haven't heard of Amanda Ungaro, but she says she's been in the room for 20 years. She's Brazilian, a model, and she was pulled into the American dream the same way Milania was by the same man, Paolo's.
We went through that. Yeah. She got kicked out the country, ICE, for trying to play with this powerful man. These dudes that got Trump as friends, this ain't the time to play with because Trump is flexing muscle. Well, yeah, and she probably hit up Milania for some help. Milania like, nah, I don't know you. And then she said, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to tell everything. So Milania hit the news. Let's have a press conference tomorrow. Went ahead and, cleared her name and her, how she feel about it. That's what it sounds like to me. We'll see how this shit develop. I seen the picture with Epstein trying to kiss Milania. I don't know if that's real. It looked pretty real. We only seen it after the Epstein files came out. We know they've been to parties together. We already know all that. A lot of people, I'm sure, suspect that, yeah, of course, Epstein hooked them up with the young girls and they married him or whatever else. That's what I suspect. So we'll see how this shit develop. That's fucked up. They kicked her out the country though. But let's get into the next subject. Candace Owen, somebody who I never really paid attention to. I heard a lot about her, but I've been studying the whole Jay-Z shit and making videos about it. And she's been speaking on it for a while. So sometimes you gotta look at it like, why is our sisters? Some people might not call her a sister, but speaking because you got her, Tasha K, and these females speaking on Jay-Z. And we all was like, she crazy. But hey, let's see what's going on though. So here we go.
Start with a prayer and then we're gonna jump into the content like we always do, man. So let's get into it.
Hold up. Before that, what's this nigga name again? Salute to Will Evans live. Will Evans live. That shit is, he be talking that stuff.
And follow Jay-Z. I have not been a Jay-Z fan for a very long time. It is very obvious. He sold us out to the feds. He's clearly working for the feds. I have always believed that the individual that came forward and was honest about what was happening with Diddy and Cass and talking about how the feds do deal with rappers. They give them tons of money and then they move drugs in. That just felt like the correct thing, like my assumption when it came to Jay-Z.
We know that that's a thing, correct? Like, that's not unbelievable. The feds come to whoever's popular and say, hey, we need you to do this. You're going to work for us and we going to da-da-da. Right? That's not unbelievable.
was obviously what he was involved in. And so, yeah, Nicki Minaj had a lot to say because she feels vindicated in many ways about speaking about how the hip hop industry works, that you have to get involved with a lot of this stuff. And if you don't, they will essentially blackball you. And you know what? Ye has spoken about how you get blackballed in the industry. He was obviously too sleepy and never got to those tweets that he was going to author because he was very tired and needed a nap, but he was about to let loose on a bunch of people who were doing the blackballing. And I do very much believe that Jay-Z is a part of that. That, like I said, feels to me like common sense. And I think more will come out and people are unfollowing him. Anyways, here's what Nicki Minaj had to say. She wrote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult.
We
where
remember
they
all
take
this.
babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up." And yeah, she's not the first person in Hollywood to say that. I mean, every time we show you things, even when we showed you the CERN activity that was happening, which somebody caught on tape, they just came out and were like, "Oh, we were just faking. That was just like fun. That's what scientists do. They dress up in the middle of the night and pretend to stab women."
So you guys,
Hold up. 1 second here. Shit getting crazy. Let me see something though, because I want to go to the source. Candace Owen page and really see how she really getting at it. So let's do this right here. Candace Owen, man, why are the sisters going left? But hey, I ain't gonna write nothing off no more. I believe I gotta study everything and see what's, I can't just discount stuff though.
Because BB's like always here or whatever, and we seem to be doing their bidding everywhere. But the Mossad just like said in 9 days, they were like, I'm a chill. And they haven't done a single thing. She's not the first person in Hollywood to say that. I mean, every time we show you things, even when we showed you the CERN activity that was happening, which somebody caught on tape, they just came out and were like, "Oh, we were just faking. That was just like fun. That's what scientists do. They dress up in the middle of the night and pretend to stab women before a statue of Shiva." That's kind of what they told us about CERN. I just don't know how much could be in our face anymore before we wake up and realize these people are ruling over us and they win when we're fighting with each other. That's just the reality. I really don't see how you can have a ton of success in Hollywood and not be in the club, because Hollywood was founded upon this. Hollywood Babylon, we spoke to you about this. In our book club, they quite literally imported people from Vienna, where Sigmund Freud was, where his boys were. They imported them and they made them directors, they made them actors, they made them actresses, and they were tasked with destroying Christianity, just as they were doing upon the European continent. I don't have time to tell you guys about World War II. Just assume that everything that they told you is incorrect and upside down. They're lying about what happened yesterday. They sure as hell are not telling us the truth about what happened during World War II. And I just don't really care what you call me. It's time for everyone.
Jay-Z is a day. Let's hear it. Because I know Day is very famous.
To wake up, and we're not getting all these files. Obviously, they are protecting a ton of people. The fact that you can't find like the Adelsons in here is completely ridiculous. People that are still in power, like they're active agents in America today, are all being protected, which is why it was super interesting to see them sort of throw Peter Thiel under the bus. That was interesting. Like I said, you can trace this stuff through politics, through Hollywood, the Jewish occultist mystics that established these industries. But Peter Thiel, his emails went up there, and it ain't good for JD Vance. I'll tell you that right away. I think this is plausibly the biggest scandal to come out of the together all throughout New York, constantly messaging each other.
That's right.
Yeah,
Which was like
07, 08.
Okay.
HR, but they've cleaned this up majorly. I also expected to see some other names, which would bring us a little closer to solving the Charlie Kirk murder, in my opinion.
Wow,
So this is still, we're getting something. We are not getting anywhere near everything. And that's why Thomas Massey is demanding for there to be more of a release. And also these should be unredacted. If you're talking about murdering people, we should be able to see that. We should be able to see exactly who is sending all of these emails when you're speaking about children and the things that you are doing to children in ritualistic acts. Anyways, the next thing I want to say, interestingly enough, is that last week on Working for the Feds, I have always believed that the individual that came forward and was honest about what was happening with Diddy and Cass and talking about how the feds do deal with rappers, they give them tons of money and then they move drugs in. That just felt like the correct thing, like my assumption when it came to Jay-Z.
It felt like the correct thing. People is crazy though. She just said that felt like that's what it is.
It was obviously what he was involved in. And so, yeah, Nicki Minaj had a lot to say because she feels vindicated in many ways about speaking about how the hip hop industry works, that you have to get involved with a lot of this stuff. And if you don't, they will essentially blackball you. And you know what? Ye has spoken about how you get blackballed in the industry. He was obviously too sleepy and never got to those tweets that he was going to author because he was very tired and he needed a nap, but he was about to let loose on a bunch of people who were doing the blackballing. And I do very much believe that Jay-Z is a part of that. That, like I said, feels to me like common sense. And I think more will come out and people are unfollowing him. Anyways, here's what Nicki Minaj had to say. She wrote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up." And yeah, she's not the first person in Hollywood to say that. I mean, every time we show you things, even when we showed you the CERN activity that was happening, which somebody caught on tape, they just came out and were like, "Oh, we were just faking. That was just like fun. That's what scientists do. They dress up in the middle of the night and pretend to stab women before a statue of Shiva." That's kind of what they told us about CERN. I just don't know how much could be in our face anymore before we wake up and realize these people are ruling over us and they win when we're fighting with each other. That's just the reality. I really don't see how you can have a ton of success in Hollywood and not be in the club, because Hollywood was founded upon this. Hollywood Babylon, we spoke to you about this. In our book club, they quite literally imported people from Vienna, where Sigmund Freud was, where his boys were. They imported them and they made them directors, they made them actors, they made them actresses, and they were tasked with destroying Christianity, just as they were doing upon the European continent. I don't have time to tell you guys about World War II. Just assume that everything that they told you is incorrect and upside down. They're lying about what happened yesterday. They sure as hell are not telling us the truth about what happened during World War II. And I just don't really care.
Hollywood got a lot of bullshit involved in it, but you know, that goes all the way to the top. That's not the middle people, the people that's working in Hollywood. That's when a lot of people get it twisted at, though. But yeah, the people that created some sickos up there for sure. You know, the bosses of these studios and all that, yeah. And that's what, you know, Epstein was dwelling with. Weinstein was one of those, all these dudes that got caught up. So yeah, you know, that's what it is.
Or what you call me. It's time for everyone to wake up. And we're not getting all these files. Obviously, they are protecting a ton of people. The fact that you can't find like the Adelsons in here is completely ridiculous. The people that are still in power, like they're active agents in America today, are all being protected, which is why it was super interesting to see them sort of throw Peter Thiel under the bus. That was interesting. Like I said, you can trace this stuff through politics, through Hollywood.
Okay, she said Jay-Z working with the feds, though. She provided no, you know, nothing to lead up to that. Like, why though? Why would you say that? You feel me? She just read like, oh, I read some bullshit and she said it felt right. Nah, we ain't rocking with that. Now, see, there's all kind of different situations, and I definitely went through them, so I ain't got to go through them again. That could make you believe that he is, you know, close to the feds and working with them, but she ain't say one thing at all. That's a little crazy, but she know how to talk that talk, and you know she got the fans, they love her, she getting that money. But damn, she said, I believe Jay-Z's with the feds, and she ain't have nothing to say to go with it. That's kind of crazy there. And if you go through my other episode, I went through the stuff that the reasons why I said certain things about him. You feel me? But she is just speaking. I feel like she's just talking. Before I must see this.
sometimes. Yeah.
You're like, I
yeah,
can't do that. How do
yeah.
you do that? How
Yeah.
do you do that? I can't do that. And he's doing it sober. He's not like
No.
there's some dudes who do that. They're all Adderalled up.
You're
No,
right.
he's on the natch.
Yeah, he does that, man. But
Yeah,
I like
smart
him. Like I
dude.
liked these kids in school. I'd just be like, I was just the kid that was just like kind of
You
like
know, the white boys love her.
more chill and like I don't need to like. And sometimes when he just goes over stupid stuff, it's like. But I do wonder like if he's learning anymore. That's the one thing. Like
Ben?
I like yeah, because he doesn't like to have like it's like once he has an opinion, like I like to have conversations and I like to be wrong about the conversation because I don't know everything. I think that's kind of like why people love this podcast so much because you're open to learning anything. Like you'll have people on this podcast, you're like, who's he having? Because there's always something that you can learn. There's always something that you don't understand that you don't know.
If you have an open mind.
If you have an open mind,
Yeah.
right? And I think that in many ways, and that like sometimes he's just not open to learning about certain things, and that
think-
somebody might know something about a culture beyond
Right.
what he knows, and it's just like nope, that like the idea, right? Like it's just drives me crazy. But I like
think
him.
Ben is really fucking smart, and
He
that's
is.
the problem.
That's the problem. Exactly.
He thinks other people are stupid.
He thinks
You're
everyone
stupid. You're not
is
as smart as me.
stupid. Yeah.
You can't talk as fast as me.
Yeah, like
That's it.
like I hated, like I got so annoyed with like the Kanye West, like 4 seconds he like writes an article saying Kanye West is just crazy. And I'm like,
who did this?
Ben
Ben did?
yeah. And I wrote him an email. I was just like, dude, like I understand that to you and the way that you've done your life, this doesn't make sense, right? But this is actually really important for Black people to see
The
this.
Kanye West thing?
It was the most important
Well,
thing.
which thing was it?
Him him tweeting out I love the way Candace things, but beyond that saying that he openly supported the president. So I can see why Ben shuts something like that down initially, because to him, like
Yeah, I could agree with that because we need to be free to, everybody do their own thing. Nobody's controlled. All of us don't need to be controlled and expected to do something. That's what they be doing. I ain't with that shit. We all need to move how we want to move. If we like something, go ahead and, we don't all have to be controlled.
culture is not the way you talk about politics, right? Like, because he's by the book. But he has to understand that by the book is not the way people in the hood are being raised. By the book is not the way people in the projects are being raised. These people have had their families destroyed and decimated by the welfare system, right? The fathers aren't even at the homes. The single motherhood rate jumped from 25% in 1965 to 74% today. And so these kids turn to culture to father them. They turn to Jay-Z and Beyonce and hip hop and Kanye and to tell them what's right and what's wrong. So for so long, because the left has had a stranglehold on culture, they've had a stranglehold on Black America. So the most significant thing that opened up this dialogue beyond the work that I was doing was this like simple tweet and this simple show of support from Kanye West. And I was so frustrated that he had to like in that moment just dismiss him as crazy. It's just like, dude, like just be willing to learn, just be willing to say like, I don't understand why the hell this is the way that this is Black people are willing to talk about politics, right? But maybe there's something here. And I always understood that culture was the most important vertical. When Charlie and I first met and we sat down, I defined 3 verticals.
I don't know who Charlie is. You
Charlie
mentioned
Kirk?
him a couple times.
Charlie
I don't know
Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Okay, so Charlie Kirk is like this 18-year-old. Like we started Turning Point USA, who I work for, when he was 18, and he is like a savant. They call him like Trump's boy wonder. Like he's a brilliant. If you want to talk about like smart, beyond like the smart.
That's where she come from. Okay, didn't really know that her relationship with Charlie Kirk. It's a whole culture, So if she's there, it can't be all white people. There's probably some Black people involved in that too. I'm sure there is more than we expected too.
First person I know is Charlie Kirk, hands down, and he's only 24. He didn't go to college, just like, I don't know, just reading weird stuff when he was 7. I don't know, like just like things that everyone's like, oh yeah, I just read that Thomas Sowell. He's like, yes, I read it when I was 6. I'm like, what? I'm like, Charlie, could you not say that? Could you?
He was a young genius, and maybe if he didn't get involved with the politics, it'll be better, because that politics shit is the bullshit anyway. Wasting their genius on politics. I don't like that, but rest in peace. No disrespect.
Be cool. But so when Charlie and I met, and I told him like my plan to sort of help Black America and to wake them up, because I understood how we had fallen victim to this brainwash.
What brainwash is that?
The leftist dogma, just this idea that because we're Black, we have to vote Democrat, and anybody that is not a Democrat is racist and against helping us. That is like what so many Black Americans believe. I believed it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a pretty smart girl, I've always been a very smart girl. I've always been, I've excelled in academics, right? So how did I fall victim?
Whatever dude get with her, I feel sorry for him, man. Probably gonna be some body of another culture, but man, Whoa.
into it, the exact same system, right? These three verticals, the first being the family, the breakdown of the family, the second one being culture, which then to me, like growing up, it was like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was God to me. Like I would throw on, like I was, I went through a lot of stuff when I was a kid. I didn't have a great family, but I would throw on a Jay-Z album, and like whatever he said was like, it was like going to church, and I can't stand him now. But the third vertical.
You can't stand him now?
No, because he knows exactly what he's doing and he's a traitor. But third vertical being education, which was
What a casual aside. He's a traitor.
Yeah, it's like Beyonce and
How's
Jay-Z.
he a
I'm just like,
traitor?
because he knows what's happening to Black America, and he's somebody that built his entire career off the backs of Black America. Of being the guy who started in the hood in Queens and worked, was a drug dealer and worked his way up, and it became the idol for so many people in Black America. And then he stands on stage and endorses Hillary Clinton. He stands on stage and tells Black America to put the same people in the White House that locked up more Black men than any president in the history of the United States.
So they mad because Jay-Z had a lot of power in the on the left side of the community and all that, and he used that power to push his people to vote on the left. She's saying he's an informant, she's this, she's that, but it's just basically she mad because of some political reasons.
Bill Clinton, right? The person that stands on the crime bill of 94 is Bill Clinton. But because Jay-Z is now focused on getting a piece of the pie, the globalist piece of the pie, he doesn't care about Black America. That's my opinion. So what
do you think that's what it was, or do you think that maybe he thought that Donald Trump represented a lot of racist white people?
No,
he didn't want that in
God,
office.
No. Oh God, no!
You don't think so?
Not even kind of. Not
no,
for
you don't think he felt
not
that?
For a single second.
How do you know?
Because Jay-Z is very smart.
Did you speak to him?
No, I didn't speak to him. I know. Like it's a certain thing where like I know that Jay-Z and Beyonce betrayed the Black community. Like they are.
So you think they did it purposely for financial gain?
Yeah, I think that they were interested in having. They want to be the people that control the world, and they
Seems like a little jealousy involved with her, though. I mean, just a little bit.
Felt that Hillary Clinton, they were working with Obama very closely, and very clearly now we know that the Obama administration worked very hard to get Hillary Clinton to office, and they wanted to stay in that group. And so they supported Hillary Clinton, who was selected behind closed doors, forget the American people, to be the next president of the United States.
Yeah. So selected certainly by the DNC.
Yeah. 100%. But beyond that, it was in bed with Obama. She was our Secretary of State, and she was doing deals behind closed doors. And Jay-Z and Beyonce were a part of that clique. Right.
So they were a part of the celebrated celebrities that were allowed to go to the White House, and they'd wear the ties, and everybody would be taking photo ops.
Right.
It sounds like she was brainwashed by them people who she was dealing with, got her with a mean hate for Jay-Z. Nobody should, I mean, I don't know him, so I don't hate him, but there's some things that I definitely question for sure involving, his past and what's going on now and his whole image and how he, created that do anything for money image and got the kids, that capitalistic shit that took over. Definitely not with that, but man, she got some real hate for the boy. Hold up though, because there's another Black woman. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
In this, you didn't go to school for journalism. You don't get, you don't do the thorough research like a real journalist does, like you do.
She said that to you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God! Like you have no idea. Like
that's very interesting.
Yes.
That sounds like gaslighting to me. But okay,
it's gaslighting. I call it the mistress magnet because she seems to only attract mistresses. Because Gary Owen's wife came out and said that she was best friends with Gary Owen's mistress, and then her best friend Sabrina Hutt.
I can't even remember. They may have gotten evidence proving that it was true. I honestly can't remember because we did have reporters collecting DNA, and then they sealed the records. So there were people were starting to figure out that they were abusing her, that they were trafficking her, and they were doing all this assassinate someone, right? So I'm like, what do you mean the publicity stunt they'd been planning probably for years, knowing like how these publicists work. Mm-hmm. They could not have anything overshadowing it or dominating. This is not fake. They can't say fake news on this because even the New York Times acknowledged it. It was actually a good story. But they were running surveillance on Britney. Everyone was like, "Oh, yay, Sandra Bullock, girl next door, yay!"
Wait a minute,
just fitness.
And initially, they were willing to just.
I don't even want to, man. Y'all seeing what's going on with Candace Owen for sure. She got a grudge. She mad. And it seems like she brainwashed too. I ain't gonna hold you. I understand you pick your side, but you're mad about somebody else picking their side. That's when it's a problem. That's the problem with politics. It's worse than gangs. Cold fact. Politics worse than gangs, man. I definitely believe there's some truth to what with the Melania Trump shit. She definitely was an Epstein worker, I think. That's how Trump met her. That's how they was up in the spot. Best friends with homeboy, all that. Yeah, for sure. But this Jay-Z is a Fed thing, I don't know. From what she's saying, I don't know. Now, there's other videos that I put up with other people speaking on, his CEO, what's her name, Desiree Perez, who snitched out the whole cartel and this and that. But I ain't really seen nothing really from Candace Owen. Now I know a little bit about her. I'm so out the loop with that shit. I know a lot of people really like her. A lot of people out there that's like, you don't know Candace Owen? Hell no, I heard her name. I heard her name a lot. Now I would like to know where she came up, where she from and things like that, because the way she talked, it's got to be from like Idaho or some shit like that. You feel me? North Dakota. And she might have got a little brainwashed, tell you the truth. But, everybody got the right to do what they do and have their opinion. Feel me? Everybody got the right. Oh, here go this dude. I'm about to. Yo, what up?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Not much. Just about to.
My bad.
Nah, this is a bullshit ass show. I thought it was something else. She ain't have no type of evidence to nothing. Talking about Jay-Z is a Fed.
Yeah, Candace Owens. Look, I used to like Candace a lot. Like, she was on point, but lately she's turned into a friggin' idiot. Like, the shit she says is just outrageously stupid.
She exposed herself right there. I believe she's intelligent, and she's well spoken, all that, but wow. She's exposed herself as a clout chaser though,
Not even a clout chaser. Like, the shit. All right, so her and Charlie Kirk were super tight. You know what I mean? Very tight. Like, she worked.
Yeah, I found that out. I didn't know that. That was crazy.
Yeah. So she worked there that's where she came from, and she was big with him and everything. Like, really, really good friends with him and everything. And then after his death, she started saying shit that you just don't say about someone that was your friend who has a wife still and kids. You know what I mean? Like, she was saying a lot of weird shit, and then that wasn't the first thing that made me realize that she was a little bit off, after liking her for a while, but yeah, every day she digs that hole deeper and deeper. She went from being like an on-point person that you could trust for intelligence and for social commentary and political information to being someone who literally is like wearing a tinfoil hat, sitting in the fucking woods, like reading seances, being a complete idiot. Like, she's a weirdo.
Honestly.
Weirdo.
So you think after Charlie Kirk died, maybe she like, man, I got to get some shit going. Because Charlie Kirk had the magic and had the power. He gone.
I don't know what. Maybe she had some sort of mental break. You know what I mean? Like, after that happened, maybe it scared her. Maybe she was always a lunatic and Charlie kept her in line and was like, you can't be talking that shit on here. And she listened. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe she, I don't know. Who knows? But she went from being grade A to being like, Section 8. Like, she's out there, man. And by Section 8, I don't mean housing. I meant during like the Vietnam political terms. Section 8 means crazy, you're out of here. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
No. You're right.
Broke. That's crazy.
No, you meant the racist shit you said. It's okay.
Fuck you. And there's more white people on Section 8 than there are black or brown. So I don't want to hear that.
Man, yeah, that was crazy. The Melania Trump thing, she's capping.
Yeah, what's up with that, bro?
But the thing is, she was a kid, so it's like when she was at the party, she was young, and her friend was young too. She was like 17, so it was like.
No, I missed the whole thing. What was it? I missed it all. I didn't see what you said.
Nah, her friend is coming out threatening to expose her, and basically, and Milania came out and made a statement like, "I don't know Epstein, I don't mess with him, this and that." Like,
because I saw that she had made statements about Epstein. I was like, "What the hell is she talking about?" But you know what? Like, this is something else that just came out today. I forget what it was, but anyway. Oh yeah, that guy, the guy who's running for California governor, or governor, Slewell, not Sewell, Slewell or something like that. I don't know, I forget his name, but he was running for governor, and then all of a sudden, like as of a couple of days ago, these charges, not charges, allegations, like sexual misconduct allegations came out about him. And he denies them immediately, and then today he winds up canceling his run for governor, and it's just like, I mean, I don't want to negate what somebody says about somebody else, but it's like this guy's not new; he's been around for a little while, and now all of a sudden he's running for governor, and now someone wants to come out and say he did something wrong to them. Like,
sorry,
I can't.
It don't happen to everybody. It ain't no like why somebody could just say like it don't happen to everybody. So.
No. What I'm saying though is like, if somebody did something wrong to you, would you wait 3 or 4 years and then come out when they're running for governor, or would you fucking do it when it happened?
Oh, you know the story on it?
Well, no, but I'm saying it didn't happen yesterday. They're saying that this happened like several years ago.
Yeah,
so
well, some people.
If that's the case, I'm just saying I have a hard time believing when someone comes out and says that something was done to them, but it was a couple of years ago, and it just so happens that the person they're accusing is now running for office or did something big. You know what I mean? Like it didn't matter when they were nobody.
But you don't consider that's them looking at him like, wow, he running for office, and now he doing, and you in the pain they feeling like what, and then she probably talking to people and they saying this motherfucker, you need to go ahead, you need to chill. Yeah, all in the face, all on TV.
Yeah, but if
now it's different. It ain't like he's still in the cut somewhere and not.
I can understand that, but if somebody's a predator, then you're worried about it happening to somebody else. It doesn't matter if that person's in political.
That's not what they worried about. Who said they were worried about that?
But fine. And all right, let's just say that it's just the worst choice ever. Because like if somebody wants to say, well, he was going to do it to somebody else and I had to stop them. Okay, well, you should have done it when it happened. Or two, like they want to go after this person. When do you think it's easier to go after someone? When they're a nobody, or when they're running for a political office, or when they've now won political office? It seems like it'd be easier to put somebody in trouble when they don't have all the political contacts.
Yeah, so that's when you got to do it then. If he's the bastard,
it should have been done. If it happened 3 years ago, it should have been done when it happened. Why would somebody wait 3 years and then come out when somebody's all of a sudden now got a movie coming out or running for governor?
People not waiting. I don't think like some people not just waiting on purpose. They just like trying to forget about it, and they can, and then they pop up on TV.
All of a sudden, now they got to do it when the person's coming into money and power. I'm just saying it sounds fucking bullshit, and I'm not saying it didn't necessarily happen. I'm not saying it didn't even necessarily happen. What I'm saying is that maybe it did happen, and this person didn't want to say shit about it, and then as the opponents are digging through this guy's information to catch dirt on him, they find out about like hearsay. It wasn't like a thing. It wasn't a filed charge, but they maybe hear about something that might have happened. Then they go and contact the person it happened to. And let's say it did happen, but now that person's going to come out now. Didn't come out on their own, but now somebody finds them from the political opposition, finds them and says, oh, you should come out, I'm sure there's money involved in something like that too. I'm just saying, not that that is what happened, but I'm just saying that's when people wait X amount of time before they come out with charges on somebody, and it coincides with that person stepping up their station in life or coming into money or politics or anything like that, I'm suspect of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not trying to negate what people say. I'm just saying, why wait until all of a sudden the person now has, a persona in the public eye? Why? When you could have nailed them to the cross earlier. Now it's going to be harder, but it also seems like now money might be involved.
If back in the day, if you don't have no money, it might be easier because now the publicity is going to be people reaching out to help her do this type of shit. You feel me? So it might be easier. You say it's harder, and at the same time, even if it ain't nothing, she still get a little vindication, I guess, because it's like look at now, people know at least type shit. You feel me?
Listen, and I'm down for that for sure. I'm just saying it's just it makes me uncomfortable when people bring charges against somebody or allegations against somebody when, like I said, when it's years later or months, years later, and then on top of that, It's now that the person's, coming into some form of celebrity or something like that, where if they were to go after them and get them, they can get big money out of the guy now because he got money coming in versus before when he didn't. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying as a concept, it makes me nervous. If somebody does something wrong to you or your daughter, you're going to go immediately and handle that, whether it be the police or on your own, whatever it is. It's going to get handled immediately. You're not going to wait.
We're talking about little girl. We're talking about girls, not me.
No, this was like 16, 17-year-old girl. She's old enough to know what's right and what's wrong. I get the
sometimes they're not raised. Their parents.
I get the whole being scared thing too. I'll finish over here. I get the whole thing being scared too. So I'm not trying to blame the victim, especially if it did happen. But I'm just saying it doesn't look good when something happens to you and then you wait and it coincides with the person stepping up in life. It just looks sketchy, whether it's the girl or whether it's people that are handling her that know about it, that are like trying to make a move. I'm just saying if somebody did something to my daughter, I'd want to know and I'd want to handle it right then and there. I wouldn't wait 3 years, let them do it to other people, and then hopefully get some money out of it. I mean, that's what it looks like. I'm not saying it is.
You're assuming that their parents knew about it.
Sure. But if not, the girl herself knew about it, But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of assumptions. Again, a lot of assumptions because we don't really have much information about it. But I'm just saying, like, it looks sketchy when people wait X amount of years to come out about something and they're all upset about it. It's like, well, what about the last 3 years? What about all the girls?
You think people just sit around and wait? I mean, people just pick people to convict this shit of to the right time and wait?
No, I think there's a lot of false allegations they get put out there. And then I think there's a lot of people who something like that did happen to them and they never reported it for whatever reason and they weren't gonna. And then somebody gets in their ear, say somebody from a rival political campaign or whatever, somebody who doesn't like the person for whatever reason. I'm just saying now that there's publicity, fame, and money brought into the picture, and that's when the charges come out, you got to look at it suspect at least a little bit, right? Like,
what's you said of California?
Yeah.
And let me guess, he was on the right side, right?
Nah, he's a Democrat.
Oh, okay.
Which is what made me suspect in the first place because you.
I like that. That made me feel good. You ain't getting political with it. You just talking about a situation. I like that.
Yeah,
because I'm about to be like, this motherfucker is. Okay. I see. Trump 5 hours was just taking questions. I was about to get into some little Trumpy shit since you're here.
He's looking like a whole asshole right now, so we can do that too.
You want to do it? But then you brought up that shit. I wanted to see some.
Well, we'll get into that because that literally just popped up like a few hours ago. So let's wait and see because there's no information that is really out there besides him denying it. But we don't know anything. I was just saying this could be the case and gave a couple different things. But no, the Trump thing's legit. So let's get into that. The other
Trump
one
time. Right. B-Rad love this. Let's go a little bit.
Very good. I guess you're listening. It's over the fact that they will never have a nuclear weapon. Iran, you marking it down? Iran will not have a nuclear weapon.
Marking it down.
We agreed to a lot of things, but they didn't agree to that. And I think they will agree to it. I'm almost sure of it. In fact, I am sure of it. If they don't agree, there's no deal. There'll never be a deal. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and we're going to get the dust back. We'll get it back. Either we'll get it back from them or we'll take it.
Mr. President, as far as the naval blockade is concerned, what's the end game? Is it to force Iran back to the negotiating table? Is it to open up the strait so that gas prices
maybe everything? I mean, both of those things, certainly, and more. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen. And, the amazing thing is we don't, can you believe this? We don't use the strait. We don't need the strait. We have our own oil and gas, much more than we need. We have more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia. Think of this. We produce more. Saudi Arabia and add Russia to it, substantially more. And by next year, we'll have double that amount. So we don't need it, but the world needs it. And many ships are heading to our country right now as we speak to load up with the best. Really, I guess you could say, somebody said the best and sweetest. I don't know exactly.
We don't need it, but our gas prices is going up.
Well, our gas prices are up now, but if you listen to what he's saying, they're about to come down big time. And he didn't even say that. He doesn't need to, because what's happening is, and I saw it before, I was just going to look it up right now. So they closed the Strait of Hormuz, right? So something like 80% of the world's oil comes out of there. Don't quote me on that, but a large amount of the world's oil comes out of there. That's where Iran has their whole oil industry set up. So they're the ones that have been bombing people going through there, blowing up ships going through there, and all these ships are stacked up waiting for oil. So what we've done now, as of tomorrow morning, there's going to be a full blockade on that strait. So no ships are getting in or out. Then they pulled up a map of all the tankers across the world, all the tankers in the ocean that are empty. There's 268 or 258 empty tankers. They were supposed to be going to the Strait of Hormuz. Well, they've been redirected to the Gulf of America, formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico, and they're going to be filling their gas up there, and that's our gas. So, you know, we're going to fill all those oil tankers with our oil, and we're now selling it to them because Iran doesn't want to play like normal people and be nice. They want to blow people up for no reason. And I'm not even talking about us. They've been shooting at everybody, and they closed the thing down, trying to threaten the whole oil supply of the world and trying to bring the economy of the world to its knees, just like a terrorist group would try to do. So now instead,
outrage suddenly when Trump set it off. You never had no outrage for them before, but when Trump set it off on them, now you on it like you've been on it. But you wasn't.
Iran has been chanting with America for my entire life, 47 years. I'm 43. My entire life, that's all I've ever heard. But I don't give a fuck about Iran. I could care less. But I care when they're blowing people up, and the gas is now $5 a gallon. Yeah, that bothers me. But now that they're
gas $5 a gallon because our president set it off on the ass. That's why it's $5 a gallon.
No, okay, but it's not going to stay at $5 a gallon. You're missing my whole point.
Okay, but you brought up the point that the gas is $5 a gallon. It's because he set it off. That's why gas is $5.
I'm aware of that, but you understand it goes up based on speculation because there's a war going on in an oil developing country, of course.
Yeah,
but the second everything goes back to being okay, which means the strait's blocked off and we're pumping oil to everybody and it's cheaper, those prices are going to come way down. And now because it's American oil, we may not even pay for gas soon, like they do in the Middle East and those countries who produce oil. Okay. They don't pay for gasoline.
Market clip that.
I'm just saying, just watch. I'm not saying it's going to be nothing. Obviously, these oil people are scumbags, but it's not. It's going to come back down significantly. Watch. But the better part is that like gas prices is the lowest form of what's going to come from this. Okay, Iran is now going to cease to exist.
Not the better price for practical people that go to work every day, and now all of a sudden because he set it off, our shit going up for no like it's like damn.
It gets a little deeper than that. Okay, like the country Iran, who makes all their money for their weapons and all their fuckery and all their fucking terrorist programs they fund, they get all that from oil. So now they're not selling oil anymore at all. We are. They're not. They're done. They can't get a ship in or out because our entire aircraft carrier set up on both sides are blocking them. So nobody's getting in or out of there. So they're not selling oil no more. We sell the oil now. So they have nothing. So they can't make weapons. They can't fund terrorism. They can't do all the fuck shit they've been doing for the last 47 years because now their product is null and void.
Interesting.
And
like the way that sounds.
And now, how do you think things are going to go when Iran was running oil? Not a bunch of good dudes, and they're running the lifeblood of the world. Well, now America, arguably a lot nicer people and better for the world than Iran ever was, we're going to be in charge of it. So things are going to get a lot better for a lot of people out there, except for Iran. And also, you know who Iran sends 80% of their oil to? Or I apologize, 80% of this country's oil comes from Iran. Guess what country that is? China, which is an enemy of ours as well, and also Russia. So our big three just went down in one fell swoop: Russia, China, and Iran.
So Trump said basically, "Fuck the big three. It's just big me."
What sweet is, but when it relates to oil, it's a good thing. But they're coming to our country right now. There are many boats coming to our country now. It could very well be this is going to be settled before that. We've been called this morning by the right people, the appropriate people, and they want to work a deal. They would like to work a deal.
Is it your anticipation, Mr. President, that other countries will assist in this effort to blockade Iran and those?
Yeah, other countries are going to also.
Which countries, sir?
We don't need other countries, frankly, but they've offered the services. We'll let it we'll let it be known probably tomorrow.
Has the blockade started, sir?
Yeah, started 10 o'clock.
Bishop Robert Barron supports you and your policies, praises you for defending religious freedom.
Yeah.
He now says you owe Pope Leo an apology. Will you apologize?
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead, and it's not going to happen. So I can't. I think he's very weak on crime and other things. So I'm not. I mean, he went public. I'm just responding to Pope Leo, and his brother is a big MAGA person, and he's a great guy, Louis. And I said I like Louis better than I like the Pope. No, you have to have law and order in our country. And
but the Pope apologized for something, and he said. He you know what I mean? He offered his hand or something, and now you're like, nope, you shouldn't have said that. Your brother's a MAGA guy. I don't like, because you shouldn't have said that. That's like, but that's typical, that's Trump.
Yeah, and right there, that's what I said. He's been up to his asshole shit lately again, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, regardless of what the Pope says, like, that's the Pope, bro. That's the Pope. If you don't like it, just ignore it, but don't come out and talk shit. I mean, it's not like he went crazy on or anything, but still, like, I don't know. I have a lot of respect for the Pope, so I wouldn't, and I don't really like it, but that's my opinion.
That's what we have now. We have the lowest crime numbers we've had in a long time, despite the fact that many criminals were allowed into our country, but we've gotten a lot of them out. We've done a great job on crime. So we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years, since 1900. The lowest murder rate. So we believe strongly in law and order, and he seemed to have a problem with that. So there's nothing to apologize for. He's wrong. And the other thing is he didn't like what we're doing with respect to Iran, but Iran is wants to be a nuclear nation so they can exterminate the world. Not going to happen.
And Mr. President, on Iran, if the deal is not reached by the end of the ceasefire, does your threat from before still stand?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that, but it won't be pleasant for them. Let me put it that way.
Do you still plan to turn your toll use restraining order? Has your timetable changed in any way in terms of ending this conflict?
No, it's going on. Right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out if they were doing business with Iran, but if they weren't, no boats came out. So now Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. Don't forget, their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone.
So now it's time to hit the ground. No. What else is left?
No, hopefully not. But why? What's the point of?
What else is left? What are we going to do?
Now, this is when the Iranian people step up and develop their new party or whatever, their new government party, and they take control of it. They do it. We don't have to do that for them. We wiped out the infrastructure and the regime. Now it's time for them to fucking rebuild their country. Rebuild your government. Well, bottom line is, if they can't, we're not going to.
The regime is not wiped out yet because of these things. They're still there. Like, come on now. Let's be real.
They've killed the top fucking 60 or 80 guys that were going to be
they kill them, then other people rise, like gangs, like everything else.
But do you really think they're going to rise when they don't have any equipment, infrastructure, leadership left? Like, what's there to rise on?
If you're in the ground, you could control. If you control the ground,
they can't, because if you've seen the videos, the public is now taking to the streets and killing IRGC members in the streets.
Oh, okay. If the public is involved, that's cool.
That's what I said. The public needs to come out and take control. They need to take control, reestablish their government, put someone in control. Get their shit together.
You're being naive, talking about, oh no, there's nothing there now. They can't. They're not in the street. They don't have control. Come on now. Why are you being naive when I say they have control still? Just because he's bombing.
I don't think you've read or seen enough of what's happened there. Like, we took.
I don't have to see enough. We don't have control of Iran. That's what I know.
We don't.
I don't have to see it.
Yeah, we do. We have air dominance, and we have we have naval dominance around them. Like, we just don't have boots on the ground. But the whole point is, hopefully to not put boots on the ground. That's the whole the whole point was to not do that. Whether it happens, I
If
don't
we
know.
had control, we would be on the ground and have everything on lock.
You don't want to be on the ground. There's no reason for us to be on the ground because what are we going there to be on the ground
Because
for?
we're gonna die because we don't have control of the place. Like
Well,
that.
what's
What's so hard? What's so hard? Well, okay, so we have control of it now. That's what you're saying. We have control of Iran.
I said we have control of the air and we have control of.
Okay, then that's not what I'm saying though. You're talking like a politician right now.
No,
do we have control of Iran?
For what do they have to go into? Why do we have to put boots on the ground? If we continue our airstrikes and we knock out all of their
because if you don't know what's going on the ground, you don't. If they could be building and doing whatever else still. So you did all that war for nothing if you don't control the ground.
He did say that if they don't give up the the nuclear dust, so all the stuff that's left from when we blew up their nuclear rockets and everything in that one site, they said that if they don't clean up the dust and give it to us, then that we're gonna have to go in and get it. So at that point, yeah, there would be boots on the ground. But the whole when I say boots on the ground, you have to clarify. We've already had boots on the ground there. When we went to get our pilot back, we had Navy SEALs, we had all those guys over there. So we've had boots on the ground. When I say boots on the ground, though, I mean we don't want to bring in like divisions of soldiers and then fucking have them walking through the streets in Iran, because that doesn't work out well. And especially it's not like they have a formal army that's there waiting to fight with us anymore. Like that shit, they've wiped out a lot of their infrastructure, a lot of their communications. They don't have surface-to-air missiles left. Like they may have some soldiers, but they don't have leadership. We don't need to go into a ground war there. Not like people think of a ground war. We're not going to pull off another Iraq in that place. If we do send troops, it's going to be super limited, and they're going to be on the outskirts. We're not going full blown in because there's no military left there to go to war with. They don't have it. They had a big military, but now they don't have the leadership. They don't have the equipment. We've bombed a shit ton of their bases. Like I don't know much of a war can take place with them at this point.
Not going in because there's no military to go to war with. I'm not arguing with you though. You just straight. I don't know. You saying it like you President Trump himself. We're not going in there because of this and that. I'm just telling you my opinion, and I don't think we got control of Iran. And I think the only way to get control of total control of a place is have control and have troops on the ground.
All right, I disagree, and I don't think we have complete control of Iran. I didn't say that at all. We can go back and watch it 20 times over if you want. I said we have air superiority and we control the waters around it with our Navy. So I mean, we may not be in 100% control of the world, right, of their little world in Iran, but they ain't doing a fucking thing. They're under our thumb. Like, we could send troops in. I just don't see why we would do that. It's not like the civilians there need to start doing what they're supposed to do and mop up their fucking country. Like, we took out all their weapon systems and their leadership and all that stuff. We did the big things for them. Now it's time for them to go out and take control of their country and bring it back. Hold an election, put in a proper government system, like that kind of shit. And like I said, there's video and news we've been watching.
So you're telling regular people just because some our president decided to do that, to just suddenly just know how to organize and do this and do that all of a sudden. Regular people living their regular life out there.
Bush, am I asking the people of a country to step up and take control of the country that they allowed to get out of hand in the first place? Yeah, that's what I'm asking them to do. Yeah, okay. Especially since we just weakened the fuck out of that crazy regime that they've been stuck underneath.
But the way you're saying that.
Well, no, but you got something twisted here. You said Trump went in and did this. No, the people of Iran have wanted this since the day the fucking Ayatollah took over and started ruining their lives.
They could want all they want, but the fact is, when Trump did this, you're saying no, that's not true. Okay, how is that not true then? It's weird. All I'm saying is, people, you're telling the people to come on now. People try, they're gonna do their best or whatever else, but really, when you see countries get occupied and we really do it in the past, we there. And we holding it down, and then we making sure that
Iran's very different than any other place we've been recently. We've been fighting.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. That's why that's probably why a lot of these presidents were scared to do to even set this off, because they realize the inevitable is you got to go to hit the ground.
I mean, you keep talking about the ground, like what, like we haven't seen anything about ground soldiers for them. Like nobody's mentioned a damn thing about their ground soldiers. I haven't heard or seen.
Okay, so why we ain't go in there and just take it over then real quick then? Why are we not down there?
Because we don't want to go in and wind up killing civilians. Because when you run up in someone's country, civilians are going to get really, really fucking
All right,
hurt.
you underestimate and everything else.
All right, well,
nothing.
but I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to have
just like Vietnam. Oh, then we wouldn't have hit the ground. They the motherfuckers. Can't underestimate shit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't think we're going to see boots on the ground like we did in Vietnam or in Iraq. Yes,
so we're not going to have control of the country.
Soldiers there. Like I said, we already did. We already put boots on the ground there. We already took over the island that's in the strait. So yes, we already have boots on the ground there. What I'm saying is, you're not going to see people kicking doors, clearing house to house in Iran. U.S. soldiers. You're not going to see that.
That's not what I'm talking about anyway.
That's boots on the ground. It's a war. That's a fight.
No, it ain't. It's not kicking indoors. I'm talking about all of you. They know where them dudes at, and hitting the ground.
Right. They do, and that's why we're using rockets and intelligent missiles to blow them up, so we don't have to send people in on a grand scale. I'm sure we will have some soldiers there. Sure, maybe, but it's not going to be like a grand scale invasion.
Okay, that's what you say, and that's cool. But that's new, and it's like. You don't know what's really going on there unless you underground.
I don't know for a fact, but I'm just saying based on that's the plan. The plan is to not have that. That's the plan. Whether or not it works out, we'll see. But I know the plan right now is not to send an insane amount of soldiers over there. I know that, but contingency plans do need to be made. So soldiers have been mobilized and are ready to go for sure. It's a war, but I don't think we're going to wind up
seeing. They bombed the embassies and all that shit out there. So I mean, they bombed the embassies and everything else. So we can't have none of that. So it's like, what's really going on? You feel me?
Well, I mean,
that's just some more questions. I got to get it. I'm about to.
They took over.
Coming from predominantly going to China, Mr. President, has Xi Jinping reached out?
No, but we have a very good relationship with China. He would like to see this ended also.
Hold on, B-Rad just said China's our enemy. China's the enemy.
They are. He keeps it cool with China, but they are not our fucking good friends. And the whole reason China wants to see this end quick is because they need their oil. So, he's not.
Are they the enemy, or are they just another superpower that just
to honestly, the way our country considers it, it's kind of like half and half. It's kind of half and half. But China is not on our side, and at all. They're in cahoots with Russia. What are you talking about? They try to be part of the BRICS money to destroy American fucking dollars, and if that happened, America would be in the poorhouse. You know what I mean? They're not. We have a weird relationship with China. They're not our enemy, but they're not our friend. We do business with them. But we absolutely keep an eye on them. And
he certainly wants it ended.
They steal all of our they're the number one stealers of what is it called? Intellectual property. That's why when you go there, they don't sell iPhones. They sell a phone that's the exact same thing. It's got a pair on it. It's we're not enemies, but we're also not really friends. We have a weird trade relationship with them, but that's about it.
Everyone, I want to see it ended too, but we can't give a nuclear weapon to a group of people that have caused nothing but havoc for 47 years. Look, I'm the president that's done something about it. This should have been, and many other presidents regret that they didn't. So I'm doing something about it.
Ukraine impeachment documents that were just declassified show that Eric Charanella not only submitted false information, but that he had no direct knowledge of the alleged conversations. All hearsay. Do you feel vindicated by those?
Yeah, I do. They're a bunch of crooked people. You're talking about with respect to all of the things that they put against me? Yeah. Well, it's come out that in so many different ways. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it. But in so many different ways, the election was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. We found that out. What you just said is just a piece of that. It's a big piece, but minor, relatively speaking, compared to what they did. They cheated in the election. They cheated on the vote. They cheated in every way possible, and it's the only way we got an incompetent man.
So why are you saying he's looking stupid lately? He looked like he's doing the same stuff he's been doing. You feel me?
I didn't say he looked stupid. I said he managed to once again look like an asshole, and that's
how
the whole comments back and forth with the Pope. That's what I said. That was it. The Pope thing, it was an asshole comment he made. Don't talk about the Pope like that, bro. Relax. That's a holy leader. Like, if you don't like what he said, then just ignore it. But don't talk shit about the Pope. That's not going to get you any points with the public. But other than that, well, he's just doing his thing as president. But I said he made another asshole comment, and that was it. It was the Pope thing, which people didn't seem to get that worked up about. It bothered me more than it bothered most people, I guess.
So when you heard about the war, you were happy about it?
No, of course not. I don't want to go to a war. We were told we weren't going to war. Like, that was the whole campaign he ran, was on no more wars. So no, I didn't want to see another war. But of all the people in the world to get involved in some shit with would be fucking Iran. And again, I didn't want a war with Iran. I'd just like them to stop threatening us and to not make nuclear weapons. This isn't a new issue. Like, this issue seems to have caught people off guard. People all, like, the last couple of months, like, whoa, what's up with Iran? What's going on with that? Like, this isn't something new, guys. Like I said, they've been on their bullshit since 1979 when they took over the fucking U.S. embassy and fucking started killing Americans and shit. And they've been doing it ever since. And they're the ones who fund all the bullshit behind us because they got all the fucking money in the Middle East. They got all the money in the Middle East. They're the richest ones by far. So they're the ones who start. Every time we had a fucking problem, every time an American got killed by somebody in the Middle East, 90% of the time it was funded and planned by Iran. Even if it happened in Afghanistan, even if it happened in Turkmenistan, it's Iran behind all of it. And every
You've been tripping with your percentages. You always got a percentage, and
no,
you've been
that's a new thing. Google it. Iran
90%
sponsors 90% of world's terrorism.
I don't want to embarrass you no more. I'm sure that's wrong.
Look, I'm just repeating the fact.
No, you said any death that's killed, any American dead in the Middle East was Iranians. 90%.
Based on terrorism? I said majority, yeah, 90% of them. Based on any terrorism that takes place in the Middle East.
There's all kind of terrorist countries out there. It ain't just
I understand
Iran.
that, but what you have to understand is the funding, the money to do these things. Some dude in a cave, in Afghanistan doesn't have 40 or 50 grand to blow on weapons and training. They don't. They get that shit through Iran. That's the plug. Iran is the plug, and then he's got his crew working all across the world. That's not my opinion. That's a known stated fact.
Americans get killed all the time out there. Somebody random dude stab them. Some Afghan dude, stab him. Some whatever dude, you 90%. Come on now, yeah, I know a lot, but 90%.
That's dude. I'm not making it up. That's just it's 90%.
You're making it up. I caught you on all kind of percentages.
What are you
You're
talking
making
about?
up the percentage 90%.
I'm not making shit up. Hold on.
I could tell G. I could say no. Ask the question. Don't say.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the question.
90%. Say what's the percentage of Americans killed in the Middle East?
Up while I fucking do this because I already know the answer. God damn it!
No, because you're gonna trick it with some bullshit.
You're gonna listen to me do it, dumbass. Listen.
All right,
listen,
we'll do it.
Finally, just shut up about this.
I already know the technology, and I'm not falling for it, motherfucker.
Pussy. What percentage of state-sponsored terrorism comes from Iran?
That's not what you said, though.
Yes, it is. I said that they're responsible for 90% of the terrorism. You
could easily say, look, I could ask the question right to ChatGPT. I'm gonna say my friend B. Rad said 90% of every American killed in the Middle East is sponsored by Iran. Is that true?
In terrorist wars, in these wars, they're funding the wars. Yes.
All right, whatever, motherfucker. Well,
they're the ones funding it. What are you talking about? Where's Afghanistan getting its money from now that they don't sell dope? Where does Iraq get its money from now that it doesn't have oil? They don't.
I agree.
Get the money from Iran to do the things they need to do. That's common knowledge. Bush. That's even ABC will tell you that shit, and I don't vibe with them at all. The fucking liberal media will tell you
that's
that.
not what we're arguing about. I don't disagree with that stuff. That's not what we're arguing about. You said 90% of it all is from Iran, though. That's what we're arguing about. Not what you see.
90% of state-sponsored terrorism comes from Iran. When we get into a war with some fucking country in the Middle East,
that's not what we said either. It's not state-sponsored terrorism. You said 90% of Americans killed in the Middle East is responsible by Iran. That's what you said.
Right. Well, when Americans go to war in the Middle East and that war is being sponsored on one side by Iran, then yes, the American that was killed in it is killed essentially by Iran. Yes.
You're talking about, yeah, but there's other deaths too, Americans.
No shit, there's other deaths, but the whole point is that majority of fucking terrorism is paid for and conducted by fucking Iran and their agents. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Hezbollah. Okay.
Saudi
Hezbollah.
Arabia got a lot of money.
Listen to me. Just listen to me. Okay, so Hezbollah right now. The whole reason that this fucking ceasefire ended was because Israel fucking bombed Hezbollah people in fucking Istanbul, right? Or wherever fucking country it is right now. I'm slipping. Okay, fine. But that Hezbollah is 100% funded by Iran. Okay, but then you go into Palestine. That's been fighting with Israel for the past year and a half, right? Over there, you have fucking whatchamacallit. Who's over there? Not Hezbollah, the other one.
Trying to throw smoke and mirrors and mix up the whole game. Keep going. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying the guys in Palestine. Who the bad guys in Palestine? I'm drawing a blank right now.
I don't care about them. ISIS.
No, they're not ISIS, but they're a fund of ISIS. But another one of those groups, right? The ones that wear the green bandana. I can't believe I'm blanking on this right now.
I don't know none of these fucking guys.
The ones that we've been fighting for or that Israel been fighting.
Taliban. I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway, so that terrorist group
Hamas.
is an Iranian-funded terrorist group. All these terrorist groups across the Middle East, they're all funded by Iran. So any war or any problem that kicks off in the Middle East, majority, like 80 to 90%, I'm told it's 90, and that's based off of NBC, ABC. 90% of it's funded by Iran. That's all I was getting at. I'm not saying Iran soldiers are running.
And I say you're wrong. Okay.
Well, that's fine, but everybody can disagree, but you're wrong.
I don't give a fuck about disagree. I don't never make no damn statements like, oh, I don't make no stern statements like that. Like I'm a psychiatrist and know the like a computer and know the numbers. You don't know the numbers.
Years. Like just
you're gonna pull up some bullshit, but watch this. I'm gonna get it right here.
Don't be mad because you're ill-informed.
I'm not ill-informed, but I know how you look in the white man. Oh, you're not gonna listen to nothing I say. Oh, you're stupid. But I know what's going on. Yeah, that's how you come across. Real like, oh, listen. Oh, trying to explain some bullshit, man. We both two dudes here, and I know damn well 90% of all Americans killed in the Middle East is not done by Iran.
It's done by terrorism. Well, like what other Americans go to the Middle East besides soldiers? Not many. A couple businessmen. Yeah, and they get their fucking heads cut off. Like we've seen that happen. What are you talking about? You watched this.
Yes, all of them countries do that shit. Not just Iran. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying it's sponsored by Iran, not just Iran. It's the other countries doing it. Iran's the one who pays for it and gives them the money and the training. That's all I'm fucking talking about. When I say they're responsible for 90%, it doesn't mean they're the ones with the knife in their hand. It means they paid for it. They paid for the training. They're the ones who.
There's people that really feel that way and doing it on their own.
Okay. The Middle East is full of
a lot of people that really feel like that.
The Middle East is just a bunch of freelance terrorists. Then where do they get weapons from? Where do they get the money from? Why are they all rocking AK-47s, which is a fucking Russian gun?
If you get money, you're gonna get whatever you want. Just like the gangsters get whatever weapons they want out
Where do they
here.
get the money from?
Huh? They got what do you mean? They still heroin is the number one exporter.
Not more. They're not doing that no more. What do you mean?
Afghanistan and shit.
It's all synthetic. It's all coming out of China and Mexico now. It's synthetic. It's fentanyl. The dope game has been crushed in Afghanistan. It doesn't exist anymore.
They saying nope, not at all. But Americans' casualties over the past decades have come from ISIS, Al Qaeda, Taliban, and various military back in the direct combat, and was Iraq and Afghanistan. Smell me? Where them boys got that heroin money at? And you talking about 90% of it. See, you always make a statistic instead of just making your point and saying, okay, yeah, Iran is sponsoring a lot of terrorists. Okay, cool. I can rock with that. But you say, oh, they're all of it, everybody. They killing it. They're responsible for all of it. That's when you OD.
Iran provides financial weapons and training support to several militant groups within reports suggesting of 100 million annually. Suggesting 100 million annually to Palestine militants and roughly 700 million annually to Hezbollah, according to the United States. That's fucking 700
million. And you said two things that I ain't even say. I said ISIS.
You said ISIS. Right, which is who's
Al
in
Qaeda,
Afghanistan,
Taliban.
the Taliban, who's in also in Afghanistan. Then you have the other one that's in fucking the one that I talked about before, which is Hezbollah. They're the ones that are in Lebanon, which is being bombed right now. It's the whole reason why Iran just canceled the fucking ceasefire, because Israel bombed fucking Lebanon. What else? The other one, fucking, and then you have in Gaza, you have fucking Fuck, I
Me and
can't
my
think of
friend
the
are
name.
arguing about this.
It doesn't. Let's just change subjects. I'm just saying, bro. Iran is responsible for the majority. Okay, not 90%.
No, I want to chat GBT to know so they don't think I'm looking up
heard,
some bullshit.
I've heard 90% from multiple sources, but fine. Majority of state-sponsored terrorism, meaning we give you money.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. Wish my machine work clapping.
All that,
It's
all
like
that.
you gotta be such a pompous ego, and you're so right on this number that you just threw out there.
I'll find the clip for you. I just heard it the other day on Joe Rogan, and I'd heard it a couple of weeks prior to that. It's literally they fund not all, but 90%. Fine. We'll leave the percentage out of it. Majority of, which it is majority of, because nobody out there got money. They got the money. They sell all the oil. They got all the money. Sure. Nobody else has no. They fund it.
Iran got all the money. So you're saying these other countries don't got no money?
No, but
all right. That's another one.
The UAE isn't into that shit. Saudi, they kind of are, but we've never really caught them officially. Apparently, they did 9/11. But I don't make this shit up, bro. I'm just telling you what I've come across.
You do make it up, bro.
I tell you what I come across in my research, and that's
What's your research? YouTube, fucking Instagram videos. What's your research?
You can't ask Chat GPT, and fucking Grok.
Why not? That's legit information. They gathering all the information.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Okay, what do I ask? Fox News? Who do I ask?
A lot of things they won't tell you. A lot. There's a lot of things.
Conspiracies. Oh no. But I just want to know the facts about that. And that's what I asked. And that's what she gave me. And guess what? She mentioned a bunch of stuff that you didn't mention.
Like what?
The Al Qaeda, Afghanistan. They said Iraq and Afghanistan really mainly.
But that goes without saying. We fought wars against them. What are you talking about?
It doesn't go without saying when you're saying it's Iran.
I said that they're the ones paying for it.
Out, man. You said Iran.
You know I'm right, bitch. You know the fuck I'm right. You know I'm right.
You know you're wrong. If our show, if people watch this show, they be killing you in the comments. I guarantee you.
Killing me in the comments? Yeah. What? All six of them? Yeah,
that's
they're
all
really
I live for. I'm just playing.
They're really getting at me.
Obviously, I don't, because I still do this shit. I don't get.
What else do we got? What else do we got besides
I'm about to get out of here, man. I did a whole show before your bitch ass come in here with your political bullshit.
I felt that's my fault. I apologize.
You're so right. You're so right. My side is so right, and you guys are so wrong. I'm right. You guys are wrong.
Hey,
okay, how does that prove? How is that cool? Okay, even if it is true. So what does that do? Why don't you try to communicate better to maybe the people to understand what you're saying?
It justifies the war. That's it. It justifies the war.
No, I'm talking about that attitude of just so damn, like when we talking about this, we was on a whole nother topic, and the simple fact of that you couldn't say, yeah, that number I made up.
I didn't make the number up. I swear to God, that number's that's like a commonly reported number. I'm not kidding.
Okay. All right, I'm done.
I'm not kidding. Look,
that's the commonly reported number.
Look, Bush. If it was something in the hip hop world,
show me one article that says that. One. In your research, one article, just one.
In this moment, I won't be able to. I will absolutely put your reminder on my phone. I'm going to send it to you.
Jesus Christ, bro.
And then you're going to issue a public apology on our show.
Yeah, I definitely will. That's a common number. You could go ahead and make one and find one on a damn whatever. But you're talking about it's a common number.
It's been stated. You're
going to find the craziest YouTuber, and you're going to have it up there or something.
One of them was on Joe Rogan, but the other ones were from like ABC and shit like that.
Exactly.
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it. I'll get it to you. Don't worry, people. You'll see it.
And this is a Bush talk. This ain't bull rad. That's why I'm on my bullshit. This Bush talk. He tapped in at the end. So this ain't bull rad. And you want to come fucking with me.
I'm here.
Anyway, we have fun though at the same time. Man.
Sure. Did you see fucking this crazy situation that I don't know if we discussed it, that shooting in Old Dominion, the college down south? Did you see that shit? It was a couple weeks ago or like a week ago. So anyway, this is a crazy story. So Old Dominion's a college down south. I forget where it is. But anyway, there's a teacher there who is a retired Army captain or some high, like a general, some high ranking Army guy, retired from the U.S. Army after his tour, whatever, retired, decided to go back to his college, Old Dominion, and teach ROTC, which is like, it's an officer training thing in college. You can go into that. You're being trained and trained up for military officer. And then from the ROTC program, when you graduate college, then you go into the Army and become an officer. So anyway, he's teaching this class of young cadets and officers. There was a young man who was in the Army. I think he was a private first class or maybe higher. He had gotten caught. He was a Muslim kid, but an American, but it was Muslim. He got caught selling secrets to ISIS, like really caught selling legit secrets to ISIS. And you should go to jail. That's treason. You should go to jail for life. I think you should even be shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And they put him in jail for X amount of years. And some liberal judge decides to come along because I believe they put him in a state or federal prison, not a military prison, right? So they put him in like a regular prison, not a military prison. So a couple of years later, I think it was after like 7 or 8 years, this liberal judge decides like he shouldn't be in prison forever for giving secrets to our enemy. He should be allowed out. So they let him out. And a couple of weeks later, he ran up in this college and murdered this Army captain with a handgun and just walked in and shot the shit out of him right in the middle of his class. But his students, who are training to be officers in the military and who are military people, they got up and they fucking beat this fucking dude, stabbed him, ripped his fucking eye out. They literally killed him. They beat him and stabbed him to death right there in the classroom. But I'm saying, so we had a dude who was in our Army, and while in our Army decided to send information and sell information to terrorists against us, sell private information. We put him in jail for life. An idiot judge comes along, lets him out after 8 years. And instead of just going about his normal life, this kid runs up into a college and murders a military officer in the middle of a class. That
sounds like mental health instead of political shit. That sounds like
situation.
That sounds like some mental shit that nobody paid attention to.
No, it was all because he pledged allegiance to ISIS when he was in the military, so he got turned. Like they turned him. So like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, in that situation,
that's crazy.
Right. So
America
we got
made a mistake. We make mistakes sometimes. America,
bad. I was just asking if you had heard about that because I just heard about it. I heard about the Old Dominion shooting. Like I heard about that. I was like, oh, that's crazy, but I didn't understand what was all behind it. That's fucking crazy. So in the future,
I never heard about that one.
When we have people who like pledge allegiance to ISIS and terrorist groups and shit, it's time we start believing them when they tell us. You know what I mean? Because like the guy told us flat out he hates America.
Oh, and these days and times that ain't happening. You ain't gonna sell no secrets and then get caught and think you coming out, and that ain't happening no more. That was back.
Hopefully it won't happen anymore. But this happened 2 weeks ago.
It happened 2 weeks ago. What do you mean? When did he get out of? When did he get out of prison?
3 months ago. 2-3 months ago.
All right, I'll look that up. Okay.
It just happened. Literally just happened.
So the judge, with Trump in office and everything, this judge was able to do this shit.
Right. Well, I mean, judges, yeah,
they do what they want. They run shit. I know,
but they do.
But I'm just saying.
What do they do?
How old was he when he did the bullshit? He was 18, probably, or some dumb shit. Yeah, so that's why they probably was like, oh, and he fooled them again. That's fucked up. I don't like that.
Yeah,
because it could have been my nephew,
when people tell you
even my niece in the military, just doing their thing, and some psychopath infiltrates and
not good. It's not good. But lately we've had a lot of fucking, not a lot, but like I've noticed there's been a few military people that have been gotten in trouble or kicked out because they're pledging allegiance to ISIS or to the Taliban.
We gotta catch them. And we got a great military. I'm about to get out of here because I gotta do something, man. I gotta get up early as hell before I do it. So we got a great military, unless you want to do your own thing with another thing. But
for sure,
I gotta leave it on a positive note because you bringing us all down with all this negative, foul ass shit. Like our military ain't great, and them boys.
What? No, hold on, no.
I didn't say you. I didn't say you said that. I didn't say you said that. I'm just saying all the bad stuff about this country. Sometimes you gotta speak good stuff about the country because even the right, even the left, both sides does that. You feel me? Concentrate on bullshit instead of like, look. Now I do the bullshit too. That's what we do here, obviously. But at the end of the day, you feel me?
Yeah, no, I don't want to think that I'm tearing our military down or our government down. I'm a big fan of America. I love America. There's no better place in the world. That's a fact. And I love our military. That's one bad person. We have millions of people in our military, millions of great people.
And you bringing what you're doing is bringing light to the bull. That's bull light. So when we bring light to the bull, we paying attention now, so that shit won't happen next time. You feel me? So yeah, I'm with that. I just want to spin it off and commend all these soldiers out there doing their thing right now, and the country. It's a lot of good people, and it's a little bit of bad people, but them bad people make shit crazy. And man, we gotta just stick together. Shit.
They get sussed out super quick. But yeah, and like I said before, I don't want to see our military go to Iran. I don't want to see boots on the ground out there. Special operations is one thing. Them guys get in and get out, they're quick. They have special training, but I don't want to see the 101st Airborne go drop in there, or the 82nd Airborne go drop in there, or the fucking 5th Marines go storm the fucking. I don't want to see none of that shit. That's crazy. I hope that we can.
But I'm sorry, but I said my opinion is, unfortunately, to really fully occupy the town and really make sure what's going on. I think we're gonna have to be on the ground.
I know the plan is to try to take him out from the air and sea, but I mean, if that doesn't 100% work, then yeah, of course, boots on the ground, which is what either of us don't want to see that. But yeah, it's a possibility. It is. I don't want to see it, but it's a possibility.
Definitely a possibility. Anyway,
fucking maybe tomorrow we'll have a nicer show. We'll think of something nice.
Yeah, we'll get it back. Nobody watching this anyway, but I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, my boy.
You had at least 50 or 60 people.
It was a good show. It's a good show. My boy B Rad tapped in. That was a Bush talk. My shit was them subjects had me messed up. I ain't gonna lie. This is the first show I was a little stuck earlier. It was bad. But when my boy B Rad tapped in, made my Bush talk a little, interesting. we got a little crazy, but that's great. Anyway, shit. Guess what?
Just so all you guys know, me and Bush love each other in a straight heterosexual type way. When we go back and forth, don't ever get it fucking twisted.
Oh, for sure.
Comments thinking you can talk about one of us and the other one's gonna ride with you, and ain't even like that.
Oh, you already know. You ain't coming at us. We gonna, But anyway, like I said, man, pain is inevitable. But suffering.
Well,
that's optional. You feel me? Tap in.
I gotta come up with some clever shit.
Laying on the rug. I got new clothes, laying in the mud.